What's good, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. I got to try to keep my shoulder up here so I can block the sun here. So hopefully it won't be lasting too long, as the sun moves and all that. So, I want to thank everybody for your subs, the likes. Make sure you like the video, share the video, all that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it. This one is not going to be an easy one for you today. I did get a compliment the other day for someone who's thanking me for not pandering. And this one certainly will will be me not pandering. All right, so both barrels are out today. So, and I'm doing this in love. I hope that there's a realization to that. We're building quite the community here with the subs and all that, and I want to keep the conversation going so we can get an idea of what we're all going through, dealing with, struggling with, and how we can really develop some thought processes about how to overcome what we're going through. So this is going to be a continuation of the video that I did previously. I'm going to put the link in the chat, put the screenshot up, so you can go back and watch that for more context. So if you have not watched that video, you might want to pause right now, stop this video, go watch the other video, then come back to this one. Or, I'm going to give a brief synopsis anyway. So the video that I did about, why men are afraid, I want to expand upon that because in the brief time I'm recording this, actually the same day that I released it. So there's been a few comments, and I'm noticing a theme within the comment section. So I want to address those comments. And I'm sure that over the next 2 days when I release this, there'll be more comments, and I'll comment and I'll respond to those comments. But I just want to respond to the theme that I'm seeing thus far. And thus far, what I'm seeing is, quite frankly, just a lack of communication. It's really a lack of communication. Communication is the transference of information. That's what it is. That's what communication is. There's different modalities which that goes through, be it speaking, be it written, and be it body language. That is the primary modes. Can't think of anything more. Maybe smell, maybe, but that would be some form of body language of communication. It's how animals communicate. It's how human beings communicate. I mean, obviously, animals are not writing, but so you get the point of what I'm saying. And communication also encompasses a transference not only of information, but that transfer of information has to be understood. There has to be a comprehension and understanding. So if I'm speaking right now and you don't speak English, you don't understand what I'm saying. I may be speaking, but there's no communication because you, as a receiver, are not understanding it, right? So this is important. This is important because there is a lack of communication. On the last video, about men being afraid, what I tried to get over, first thing I did was I tried to be very thorough in all my videos. When people say this, that it sometimes, first it used to bother me, as you grow as a YouTuber or whatever, it used to bother me. No, I don't even think about it anymore, right? You said this. I go back and I used to go back and watch my videos like, did I say that? And lo and behold, I didn't say it. So I try to be very, very cautious about how I do things. I make a video, then I watch it, and then I release it, and then I watch it again. Make sure I really get my point across. I included a video of a lady who was talking about her dissatisfaction in her marriage and why she wanted to leave. I still gotta keep my arm up here. And why she wanted to leave. The comment section was many people in the comment section were talking about, and listen, I love you all in the comment section. I really do. This is not heat or smoke, or I'm not telling you not to comment. I want you to keep doing it. Please keep doing it. Keep the conversation going. But they were saying that, many women are suffering in silence, and that, they kind of tamp themselves down and all this type of stuff. That's not what the lady said in the video. How do I know this? Because I went back and watched it again. I'm like, man, did I miss something? Did I miss all this? I didn't. I took notes and I took a screenshot. I was actually going to type this out. And I said, you know what? Let me make this loud and clear and turn it into content. But maybe I should write it because I don't want there to be any type of miscommunication. She said she couldn't be her natural, authentic self. Her reasons for wanting to leave the relationship because she could not be her natural, authentic self, and that she had to alter who she is. She said that she didn't want to make sacrifices. She had to make sacrifices to who she was. She believed fantasies and lies. This is what she said. This is what she said. She's you cannot, I'm asking you not to import your own life experiences and project them onto her. I think there's a lot of that going on. This is not what she said. These are not things that she said. She didn't say that I'm I'm suffering in silence and I don't like having these kids and my husband doesn't help me around the house. She didn't say any of that. She didn't say any of that. She said she couldn't be her authentic self. She had to alter her personality and who she was. She didn't like the fact that she had to sacrifice. She believed fantasies and lies about what marriage was, this Disneyfication that I talked about. She said the protection and safety were things that she thought she was going to get. And she said the next sentence was, almost literally the next sentence was, you don't need marriage to get that. And this is when I said, the government is your husband. The government provides military and police. But I got people in the comment section again when I said that. This lady is proving my point. Now, it's one lady. It's not a scientific survey. I get that. I get that. Again, I'm saying it's not a scientific survey and not all marriages are like this. Hear me when I'm saying this. Protection and safety and all that. And she is a different person than she was 17 years ago and 3 months ago. That's what she said whenever she released the video 3 months ago. She didn't say her husband didn't help her around the house. She didn't say she was getting beaten. She didn't say she was suffering from abuse. She didn't say that she was secretly, there's affairs and the guys are doing this, so women always have to suffer and this, that, and the. She said that she evolved into this other person. And that is what men have an issue with. There is a saying that when men get married, there's a saying that when women get married, they hope that they can change the man, that they can make him fulfill his full potential. The same saying says that that when a woman gets married, they can change the man, but when a man gets married, he hopes the woman doesn't change. And this woman exemplifies that saying, at least the latter half of it. He wishes that we don't know him, but here she has changed the last 17 years, last 3 months, and she doesn't like the person who she is. She don't like it. She don't like sacrificing. I don't like being my authentic self. My question is, why would you not your authentic self? And this leads me to another part about the communication problem that we're having. Is you all are demonstrating that you're not your authentic selves. And this, I took a screenshot of this one. Again, I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings when I say this. I'm saying this as an educational point that we can get to. This is if you are entering into a relationship with the belief and fantasies and lies that this lady did, and if you're entering into relationships not being your authentic self, then that's an issue. That's why guys don't like makeup. That's why they don't like the fake hair. They want to see you for you. We don't want you to change. That's why I said that that's why you get approached when you're in Stop and Shop or Target or Marshall's or whatever store is in your area like that. You're going to get gas, just walking through the park. Why is this guy talking? Man, I'm not made up. He wants to see the authentic you. And it seems to me from the comment section that some of you all are pretending to be somebody that you're not. And that's an issue. That's an issue. When you date me or somebody who's dating me, you see what you get. Farts and all. This is it. Because you're not going to accuse me of being in a relationship for a year, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and say you changed. It's unfair to people. It's unfair. The sexual acts that you do, and come to find out 2 years into the marriage, I never really liked that. I don't want to do that no more. You think that's fair to somebody? You don't like cooking and cleaning. You don't like it. I don't like cooking and cleaning. I don't want to cook and clean. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. I only did it to get you, to hook you, to trick you into marrying me. And now you want to hire a maid, and now you don't want to do that anymore. You don't want to do the sex acts that we used to do. You don't want to do it as often as we used to do. And now you don't want to cook and clean and take care of the kids. You don't want this life. But you want my protection. You want my finances and all that. This is what men are afraid of. And you have tricked him and miscommunicated what he should expect in his relationship and in his marriage. It's a little bit better. and in his marriage, there's been a tricking going on. And you're not your authentic selves. And the last point I want to bring out is get out of this fantasy land. And there's a video I'm going to play at the end of this video. I played it before. I'll play it again. Men see who's here. We look around the world and say, okay, that's a beautiful woman right there. Get this idea out of your head, ladies, about these sixes and the car he's got to drive and what kind of job he's got to have and all this other stuff. It is messing you up and creating this fantasy. And then when you get into it, you recognize that this is nowhere along the lines of the fantasy. And this is one of the problems I had with the so-called not therapist, life coach, so-called psychology expert Cheyenne Bryant, when she said on her show, when she's talking to Cam Newton, yeah, I'm coming after her again. when she said on her show, if you watch the video on Cam Newton, she said that when she's doing sessions, that she is trying to get women out of their own heads about this fantasy that she has going on, the fantasy that they're going on. And then a moment later, not long after that later, 5-10 minutes later, in the same conversation that she had with Cam Newton, she says out of her own mouth, I see a bunch of relationships who are healthy and satisfied, but I don't look at them. I got this own idea in my own brain about relationships. So you're coaching people, I can't call it counseling, but she's coaching people about them not having unrealistic expectations, an imaginary type of thing, and yet she has an imaginary type of thing, rather than looking at the successful relationships that she's surrounded with. Does that make any sense to anyone? Get this out of your head. Yeah, a little bit of a red eye here. Get this out of your head. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're setting yourself up for failure. When you go in here with these unrealistic expectations, when you go in there with a lack of communication, a lack of understanding, you don't know what... I'm bringing up the communication thing again because you're saying things that I didn't say. You're projecting emotions onto people who didn't say those things. That lady in the video didn't say those things that you wrote in the comment section. She didn't say them. You said that. Her unhappiness and women are suffering this and that. She didn't say that. She said out of her own mouth that she couldn't be her authentic self and that she was dissatisfied with her life for the last 17 years and 3 months and she was a different person. That's essentially what she said. And I don't want to sacrifice. I don't want to believe these lies anymore. I don't want to believe them. That's what she said. Communication. So if you're out here communicating things, if you're miscommunicating with me, you're probably miscommunicating with other people. And are you miscommunicating with your husband? Are you miscommunicating with your potential mate? And are you expecting him to know things that he doesn't know? Listen, are you expecting him to know things that he doesn't know? Men, I watched I'm going to find this. I'm going to find a study. I'm going to find a study one day. I'm going to find it. Men, and I know I read it when I was a freshman, years ago in college, in an intro to psych class that I took. So This is well known and well documented, but a lot of this stuff we don't want to talk about anymore because we don't think men and women are the same, and we're freaking not. Men do not pick up signs as well. They do not pick up the communication messages as well as women do. We don't. I'm not going to know things. I'm not going to. And I watched a YouTube video last night. I didn't clip it or anything, but I watched it last night, and a woman was actually, I think I do have it. I think I have it in my history. I'll put up the screenshot. The woman was saying the same. We don't pick up signs the same way. You're expecting a man to know things that he doesn't know and to do things he doesn't know to do. And that is a miscommunication. For all you people who want to do the 3 C's and communication, open up your mouth and tell me what you want. Because you're thinking that men should get it and we should evolve, and why don't we get it? We don't. Most of us don't.
But he'll do it with you because he cares. And next on the list, and I think this one's actually pretty important, men do not see or understand hints. And they don't misunderstand you on purpose. They often don't understand your behavior, period. Especially when it fluctuates and jumps from emotion to emotion. If you want something, ask for it. It's not the case, oftentimes, that they actually want to piss you off or frustrate you. It's that they actually don't know what you want them to do. And when it comes...
So, this was a rant, but I love you. And I think I cracked the code on what's going on here. You're miscommunicating. You're misinterpreting words. You're putting your own thoughts, feelings, and suggestions onto somebody else and projecting that as that's what she's going through. And no, you're right. I don't know all of her history. I don't know what the man is doing. I don't know. All I know is what she said. That's all I know, and that's all I base my opinion on what this woman said out of her own mouth. So if she misspoke, then she needs to communicate better. But the message that I received, that I watched again, is on point, and I took notes. Communicate better. Don't have this fantasy island thought about what's going on in the world. Be your authentic. Lastly, gosh, be your authentic. If the video in the comment section are any indicator that ladies are pretending, then that is an issue. That is a serious issue. That you are pretending. You're putting on a mask, putting on a play, putting on an act to get a man. Makeup and filters, not only physically makeup and filters, but you're pretending to like certain sexual acts. You're pretending to like to be a more submissive wife. You're pretending to be, and this is where the whole pick me thing comes from. There was a lady at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. I can't remember her name, but she wrote an article piece, peer-reviewed journal about being a pick me. Call it a performance. If you are putting on a performance, if you are putting on a performance, shame on you. Shame on you. And this is, again, what men are afraid of. This is, again, what men are afraid of, that you are not your authentic self. The woman that I get is the woman that I want for the rest of my life. I don't want you to change. I don't want you to start wearing skimpy clothes. I don't want you to start hanging out with the girls, going on girls' trips every Friday and Saturday night out, coming home drunk. I don't want none of that. And again, if I met you this way, you're going out to the clubs and this, that, and the other, and I'm good with that, I don't want you to stop doing it. Girl, what happened to you? You're boring now, right? It goes both ways. Whatever you, generally, what men want, what they marry is what they want for the rest of their life. Now, it could be true that a man wants a party girl. It could be true. Absolutely. It could be true that he wants a church girl, and now you leave the church, he's going to be upset. It could be true that you're a party girl and you go into the church. Now you're going to be upset. You join the Nation of Islam, he's going to be upset. He might be. because this is not what I signed up for. So be your authentic self. Listen, not that this is about me, but I'm just telling you, for me, I'm my authentic self. Listen, the things that I tell you right up front, I play video. My pastime is playing video games. That's what I do. When I finish my work and correcting papers and doing my work for the lawyers and all that stuff, I sit down, I put a podcast on, and I play video games to relax and unwind. That's what I do. You date me, listen, I sit around in my underwear, I sit around my house. Listen, this is me. This is me. I'm not putting on fronts. I'm not putting on airs. I'm not pretending to be anybody else. I'm not. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I just want to drop this because I want to clear the air. I was going to type it all out, but I said, you know what? I'm going to turn this into content and I hope that that I have communicated, spoken, and that there's been a receiving and understanding of the message that I actually said. So I hope that this was clear. I made this because I want us all to do better, to really solve some of these problems, to really solve some of these problems. So I love y'all.
Women be out here creating super niggas in their mind. They don't even be looking at the niggas right in front of them. That's the difference between men and women. We see who here.
Right.
Women out here think it's a unicorn nigga with long dick and a lot of money and a weekend house, and this nigga write poetry and draw and he a thug and he fight and lift weights and don't eat pork. You crazy? You gonna meet this nigga with a lace front on? Okay, alright, I'm tripping though.
What he say, man?
Man, they want that nigga to have everything.